Picture this in your head for just a moment. You haven't eaten in days and you're starving. There's a mountain of food in your fridge, but because you just can't seem to understand how all of the food in your fridge exists, you don't eat. The analogy I just gave you is a perfect example of how we treat the Bible sometimes and how we treat God sometimes. There's a lot of things in the Bible that I can talk about that can't be explained logically, especially when it comes to the works of Jesus. For example, in Matthew chapter 14 verse 22, Jesus appears to his disciples walking on water. I can't explain that. I don't understand it. But if I based my life and faith off of the need to understand something before I accept it, I wouldn't be a Christian. When Jesus sacrificed himself for us on the cross, he forgave our past, present, and future sins. If you decided that in order to accept his payment for us and believe in him, that you have to understand the logic behind it, you'll be searching all your life for an answer that only God holds. In Isaiah chapter 55 verses 8 through 9, God says that our thoughts are not his thoughts and that our ways are not his ways. Not only does this confirm that none of us think like him, it also plants the foundation of needing to accept in God's plan and his way over our understanding. Proverbs 3:5-6-9 is also a great example of this. When we face challenges in our life that we don't understand, that's where faith can really grow. I mean, it requires a buttload of faith to know that you're forgiven for that regrettable thing you did in your past, and that you'll always be forgiven, especially if it's something that only God knows. From our limited human perspective, it's super hard to fathom or grasp his grace for us. So when he says you are forgiven and will be forgiven forever, it's more pleasing to accept that rather than trying to understand that. And don't get it twisted though, I'm not discouraging trying to understand his grace and searching for an answer of how he works, but I would not let that destroy you because that happened to me. But besides me, how do I know that? Hebrews 11 chapter 6 says it so plain and simple that it's impossible to please God without faith. And I can argue that understanding something takes way less faith than accepting something. In my personal life, I've found that when I accept what happens to me and how God works, rather than trying to understand it, one of two things happen. I either gain peace over what I was confused about, or God gives me the grace to understand it. You can't choose, by the way.